In the heart of a vast, tranquil kingdom where the air seemed to hum with the music of the wind and the gentle fragrance of flowering gardens, there stood a grand palace of white marble and gold. This was not a place of noise or rushing footsteps, it was a world apart from the chaos beyond its high, ornate gates. Here, days unfolded like slow-moving clouds, each moment painted in vivid strokes of light and shadow, as though the skies themselves wished to hold the kingdom in a perpetual embrace of serenity. The palace gardens bloomed in impossible colors, their petals catching the sunlight like jeweled fabric, the fountains singing soft lullabies that echoed across the courtyards. Among these splendors lived Princess Seraphina, a vision of beauty with cascading curls of deep, fiery red, eyes the shade of twilight seas, and a quiet grace that set her apart from the rest of the royal court. Though she owned gowns of silk and crowns of emerald, on most days she preferred to lose herself in the simple work of the palace gardens, sweeping the paths, tending the roses, listening to the whispers of the wind as it carried stories from far beyond the palace walls. On one such day, dressed in a flowing blue gown that caught the light with every step, Seraphina held a wooden broom in her hands, its bristles gliding across the mosaic tiles of the courtyard. It was then that she noticed a stranger standing beyond the garden gate, a young man whose eyes seemed to hold entire constellations, whose manner carried both the shyness of a dreamer and the boldness of one who spoke to the stars. He was a poet, a wanderer who had traveled far, carrying not gold or jewels, but words that could build worlds. When their gazes met, something in the air shifted, the world grew quieter still, as though time itself wished to step aside for them. Neither spoke at first, but in that silence bloomed an unspoken connection, an understanding that they had found, in each other, a missing piece they had never known they sought. Yet not all eyes watched them with warmth. Hidden in the shadows of the colonnade stood the queen, the princess's stepmother, a woman of striking beauty, her black gown like a shadow stitched from the night sky, her red curls catching the light like embers. In her hand she held a crystal-tipped scepter, its gleam sharp and cold. Beneath the mask that concealed her face, her eyes glimmered with calculating malice. She had spent years weaving her influence over the court, ensuring that Seraphina remained isolated, her spirit dimmed. And now, seeing the spark between the princess and the poet, the stepmother's heart coiled with a serpent's envy. She did not step forward. Not yet. She watched, her presence as quiet and dangerous as a storm cloud on the horizon. The poet smiled gently at Seraphina, speaking at last. His words soft, like the turning of a page. She answered him with a shy laugh, her broom momentarily forgotten in her hands. Behind them, the palace glow.